Plaintiff Renee Wilson rented her basement to the defendant, but she claims he turned out to be belligerent and an unsanitary slob. She's suing her former tenant for rent, moving expenses, and emotional distress. Defendant Leandre Lightfoot insists he kept his unit tidy, and he had issues with Renee because she acted like his mother. He's countersuing for stolen money and emotional distress.
Start with you.
I've worked for over 50 years, Your Honor, to be able to retire in peace. I've just only recently retired. I was asked by an elder at the church to allow this young man to occupy my basement short term. Short term turned into long term.
An elder let him stay in here.
You know, Your Honor,
I always ask that.
That's good.
He said that the young man was trying to find himself, and I wondered why he didn't let him look at his house.
Thank you. Particularly a man.
Exactly.
You're supposed to mentor another young man.
Exactly.
Go ahead. He's supposed to mentor
Exactly.
a young man.
But, Your Honor, I've been involved in my community. I'm a caring person. I've helped the elderly get to the store for groceries. I'm involved at my church. I have helped the mentally ill as well as other things in the community. So when he asked me, I agreed. But
what'd you do for the mentally ill?
Well, I retired from a psychotherapist. And so it was my job to assist them in learning how to live.
You still volunteer
everyday
your time?
life. Not right now, Your Honor. I just retired. I need some time. But it's
even for me?
Well, now
you won't do it for me.
You
know I need checking out.
Recommend somebody.
They're gonna be good as you.
Well,
they're gonna tell me I got
now.
more than I really have. I don't think I'm that messed up. I think I might have a little something going on.
Well, then you're gonna be okay.
Just with a little?
You be,
all right, I'll make it through.
You're gonna make it. you're gonna make
funny,
it.
But glad to hear that you worked in that area. That is one of the most important areas in society now.
Definitely.
And I'm glad to see society awakening to that.
That's true. That is very true.
I talk about that all the time.
It's a necessary work and very important. I was asked by an elder at the church to allow this young man to occupy my basement short term.
An elder let him stay in here.
You know, Your Honor,
I always ask that.
That's good.
He said that the young man was trying to find himself, and I wondered why he didn't let him look at his house.
Thank you.
Defendant Leandre Lightfoot is being sued by his former landlord, who claims Leandre was nothing but a belligerent slob.
You have a family, or?
I do. I have 3 adult children and 5 granddaughters.
Oh, excellent. Wow. And those adult children, they didn't have a question mark about you moving that man in? They didn't say, Mama, you sure he's just a tenant?
Well, they didn't
He's
say...
a handsome young man, and you're a single woman.
They didn't say that, Your Honor.
Are you single? Maybe I should.
I am single.
Well.
They didn't say that, but they thought that it was a chancy move, you know. But I wanted to help. The elder said that he was having a lot of trouble where he was, and he asked me to do it as a favor to him. He and I were close. Okay. And he said that...
pay?
Well, eventually, the following month, he did begin to pay some rent. You know, but he said that he'd be willing to step up to the plate if any problems arose. But,
how was he as a tenant?
Well, he was fine, Your Honor, as long as I was providing free food. You know, I cook, I'd bring him a plate, you know, call him, you want to come up and get a plate. He was fine as long as I was doing that and helping him out in any way I could.
Did he show any times where he wasn't fine, if you will?
What do you mean?
You said he was fine when you fed him, so I'm asking
his attitude,
any other times that he was fine other than when you
His attitude was fine, Your Honor. He became belligerent once I tired of the condition that he was keeping my property in. You know, very unsanitary. Well, I from the beginning it was bad, you know, but I just continued to try to be long-suffering and patient with him. Because, you know, the elder asked me, you know, why don't you try to be a mother figure to him and all this. So I was trying to do my best.
Did you grow up with a mother in your household?
Yes, I did.
Did you grow up with a father in your household?
No, they lived.
Bingo. Go ahead, ma'am. That elder tricked you again.
I know.
He have a mother. He needed a father. He needed the elder.
I know he did. I know they tricked me. But, Your Honor, so I went ahead and took a chance.
Get up in the middle of the church one day. Do they testify at your church? They have testimony?
Yes, we still do.
There you go.
We still
They get up there and testify.
Name names.
That's right. That's how they do it, Doc. You better be careful. Particularly in a sanctified church, Doc. You might get, you sanctified church?
Well, my pastor said that I should not go that route. It is a sanctified church.
You should testify. You don't want all them women hitting him upside the head, that elder.
Well,
no.
Your Honor, the elder was at his church, not my church.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I met the elder. I was looking for some windows for my building. He worked at a window company, right. And we became close.
Yeah, go there then. Go to his church and testify. I got a testimony. And
it was suggested that I do that, but I don't think God would be pleased with that.
He took my money. He moved in. He didn't appreciate it. That's what you're supposed to do in the sanctified church.
Amen. But I don't want to go that route, Your Honor.
Sir, you give me some background on this.
Yes, sir. First, Judge Mathis, I appreciate you as being the figure that you are, showing that coming from the streets does not mean you have to exemplify the streets, being a judge. And that was one of the examples that I grew up with, watching your show and figures like you. So I want to applaud you and thank you for being that example for me. I'm only 31, so I grew up watching you.
What's that? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is that a congressional button there?
Yes, this is when I met the President of the United States, Barack Obama.
As presidential or congressional?
I got this at the White House when I went there. Yes, sir.
Congratulations on that. What type of work have you done to earn that?
Well, I am the owner of a scholarship foundation, the L.D. Lightfoot Scholarship Foundation. Good. I serve the districts of 152 and 147 in the south suburbs of Chicago. I have an endowment of $40,000 that I provide for those young people to go to either college, trade school, or
where do you raise that from?
A lot of it, $10,000 of it, is my own money, but I am taking donations to better fund it.
All right,
yes,
well, good. Applaud you again, but, you know, I don't know how much you should be talking about 40,000 and you put in 10,000 and you didn't pay your rent. Review of
Amen.
Specifics about your rent, ma'am.
Amen. So, so, Your Honor, like as I was saying earlier, he was fine as long as I was providing the niceties. But as soon as I started complaining about the conditions of the basement, drawing mice running around, drawing roaches to the building.
How did he do it?
That's not true.
He lived down there, and it was just filth everywhere. There's pictures of the filth.
How was it living there, sir? You tell me. Experience.
Your Honor, I moved into Ms. Wilson's place June of 2019. I was going into academy to work with the Illinois Department of Corrections. I came to Chicago from Mississippi, and I took the job in IDOC. While I was waiting to go into academy, I was speaking about places to live. And a minister of my church, who has been a family friend since I was a kid, he taught me Sunday school. He's been a member of my church since I can remember. He said that there's a lady who's remodeling her basement, and she needs a tenant, and she needs someone that's going to pay, and will you be, you know, this is a place that you can go. And he put me in contact with Ms. Wilson, and that's what I did.
What was the agreement on the amount?
The amount was $650 a month.
Okay.
And it was at a month-to-month basis.
Starting in June?
Starting in June of 2019.
Defendant Leandre Lightfoot is being sued by his former landlord, who claims Leandre was nothing but a belligerent slob.
All right, so how was it there?
In the beginning, I work a high-intense, stress job, so I kind of just wanted peace at home. I just want to be left alone. I work in corrections, and I work for actually the seriously mentally ill of Illinois. Inside of the place, Ms. Wilson began to exemplify these characteristics that I was not too fond of. At one moment, she was trying to feed me and bring me cookies, and the next moment, it was like she was trying to treat me like my mother and tell me to clean my room and telling me how I should have my apartment.
When did she start that?
Immediately. Immediately. I am a solitary person. I like to jokingly say around my coworkers, but being institutionalized as a person that works in corrections is kind of how we joke about it.
She would come downstairs?
Yes.
Because she had to go out of her way.
Yes, she would come downstairs to my unit. And
aside from just bringing you food, did she come down there just to kind of look around and instruct you on how things should be? Or was she just coincidentally seeing it when she brought you food?
Well, I would say neither. It was times where I would be at work. Sometimes during the pandemic, I would have to stay at work for 16 to 24 hours at some times. And I had speculations that she was entering my apartment without my permission. I couldn't set up surveillance because the actual unit is not a zoned unit. I can't have cable, I can't have Wi-Fi, so I couldn't set up surveillance because of the way the apartment is set up.
That's what I was actually, do you think she was coming down just to give you food, or did she come down also aside from that?
I'm absolutely positive she was entering to I guess,
while you
snoop
weren't
around.
there, or
yes.
did she ever do it while you were there?
She's done it while I was there too, yes.
She'd come down specifically to look through your room and say clean it up or make adjustments?
Yes. Yes, she has.
All right.
Yes,
ma'am, were you going down and treating him like a child?
Your Honor,
even though he was paying you $650?
This young man is flat out lying. If you look at page 22 and 23
what am I going to see?
in the evidence, you're going to see the condition of my property before he got his hands on it.
What page again?
22 and 23.
Mm-hmm. It's really nice. What page?
If you look on 24 to 28, Your Honor, you're going to see the condition that he caused on my property and how the mice would find plenty of places to hide.
Ms. Wilson, there was no mice.
Sir, I'm talking.
Judge, there
He's
was
very
no
disrespectful, Your Honor.
There was no rats.
I'm talking, young
mice,
man. He would have those little traps down there for the mice to run into.
You've never had a trap?
I did. I got the mouse traps.
There were no mice?
No, I got the mouse trap after she had me.
Why did you say there were no mice? You don't need a mouse trap. You kept interrupting.
Thank you.
You interrupted me. You interrupted her. It wasn't no mice. It wasn't no mice. That's what you kept doing. Claim is dismissed. Yours is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor. I wish him the very best. I hold no ill will. I hope that the next place he lands, he'll treat their property better and with more respect.
There was no mice in my apartment, Ms. Wilson, and you know it.
What would be the need for the mouse traps?
The only mouse that was ever found on your property was from your daughter's unit. It was never any mouse.
How could my daughter lives on the 3rd floor? How could the mouse get all the way to the basement?
But why did I take it out of her house? It's okay.
Really,
it's over.
that was a smart mouse.
It's over.
Yeah, he opened the doors and everything.